artificial intelligence was a $2 billion industry in 2015, and it's going to be a $1 billion industry in 2025. So it's not going away. It's going to proliferate throughout all industries, and it will have a profound effect on the way we conduct business, both within marketing, within research, within insights, etc. So the main takeaway is to get excited about it, right? Don't be scared about it, but get excited and understand how you're going to fit into the puzzle and pivot maybe the way that you think, and even some of the skill sets that we have so that you're prepared to adopt the technologies, to know right where you're going to fit in, etc. Content creation is one of the biggest areas I think that will be impacted by artificial intelligence. Being able to input hundreds of thousands, even millions of data points and auto-generate reports and insights, that is going to be a function that artificial intelligence will absolutely have a place. In addition, creating content, whether it's blogs, whether it's marketing materials, press releases, etc., is another area I think that artificial intelligence will start to really take over the human aspect. It doesn't mean that humans aren't going to be involved in the review process and even the tweaking of the artificial intelligence to make sure that it has the tone, the grammar, the vernacular that your company is using. But it will have an effect on those individuals who perform that job function. Now, additionally, things like programmatic ad buying, testing and optimization, also cross-channel insights and tweaking things on the fly, that's another area. There's just so many data points out there that artificial intelligence and machine learning can process. It's far beyond what any team of human beings can do. And so that's an area where we need to embrace the technology, identify how we can refine it and make it better for our industry, our company, our organizations, and start leveraging it. Some of the case studies that I shared today clearly paint a picture of the not only the cost savings, but also the performance and the ROI that these solutions can deliver. So any company that we talk to about artificial intelligence, it's been interesting. Over the last 5 years, it used to be, we don't want to talk about it at all, to now I have calls from some of the biggest companies where the vice presidents, the CMOs are saying, we need to figure out a way to adopt AI into our research. So it's being driven from the top down as well as from the bottom up. And when we sit down and we talk to organizations, we try to find the artificial intelligence and the applications that aren't a significant risk, right? So it's a slight pivot from what they're currently doing now and changing it just a little bit to make it better. Show the value, right? Take those baby steps to adopt AI, show the value internally to the organization, learn about the things that you need to account for, the things that you need to tweak, and how you need to maybe run the research project a little bit differently. But ultimately, be able to show the ROI. ROI tracking is so important, not just within artificial intelligence and research, but as a research as a whole. We as an industry have to start tracking the ROI and the impact that the insights are giving organizations and what they're able to do with those insights. And the ROI will significantly increase through the adoption of artificial intelligence because it is driving the cost down lower. Things that used to take humans, people, 30 hours a week or 40 hours a week, are cutting it down to 10 or 15. And that has significant savings. If we look at society as a whole, we are becoming obsessed with learning more about our bodies on a daily basis. It started with steps. Right? Pedometers have been around forever, but it was steps, then it was heart rate, then it was calorie intake, it's stress levels, it's sleep and patterns. You even look at some of the applications now and they'll tell you how well of a rest you had the night before. And then it starts feeding you recommendations based on sleep patterns and analysis across human beings where data is being collected on a daily basis. That's the exciting part. And so society is yearning for it, right? We want to know more information about our bodies on a consistent basis, but more importantly, and this is where artificial intelligence and machine learning come in, we want recommendations on how to be better. Every single person that you talk to that is obsessed with counting steps, they want to count, they want to be able to step 10,000 steps, 15,000, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Apple Watch is even giving them recommendations and prompting them saying, hey, you haven't really moved that much. Maybe you need to get up and move around. Soon, I believe, there will be more sensors. We'll know more about our bodies, stress, even neurological behavior, or neurons and what's going on in our brain, feeding to these devices such that I see the medical community adopting these and providing services around recommendations that they can give people to change. Right? Perhaps it's at 2 o'clock, you know that your stress levels are at an all-time high. Right? Perhaps you might see your watch saying, you've been pretty stressed today. Maybe you need to go and take a walk or a break, etc. That's where I see it going. And it can compile this data across so many people who are willing and able to give that information because they want personalization, not just about themselves, but other people like them so that the data is aggregated. Voice technology is here to stay. Every single person, if we think about the adoption of smartphones, right, voice assistants are going to have that same adoption curve. They're going to be in every room of the house, and it's not just going to be asking and giving commands and Alexa or Google Home giving you information back based on the questions that you're asking. But think of it more like Google Nest is doing, where it's adapting your thermostat to how your house, the comfort level, where those are the types of technologies. That's where artificial intelligence will start to predict the music that you like Spotify has done, and start playing and serving that music up for you. Now start to think about voice technology and all of the different commands that you can give that technology. And as more and more skills are developed, it's going to learn more and more ways in which you like to behave, your perceptions, your attitudes, etc. And so ideally, and I think this is very near future, artificial intelligence will start to predict and perform tasks for you, right? Putting things on your calendar as reminders, filling out your grocery list, and or auto replenishing and auto ordering for you without even knowing, and you having to give it a command. That's where artificial intelligence and voice will collide in the home. I think that we have to be diligent and responsible with any new technology. Social media, we've seen the adoption of social media. We've seen the negative effects of social media that it's having on the old people's minds and their attitudes and behaviors in life. Right? There's study after study that shows it. Right? So I think that we all have to have a personal governance on where we allow AI to infiltrate our lives, but at the same time, we need to rely on some sort of a governance as it relates to the people who are developing, right? And it's those developers who have the true power, right? They have the true knowledge and they know what they can create and what it's intended to be used for. So it's also creating fail-safes so that it can't be used for the unintended events. Quester has a long history of being in Des Moines, Iowa. We started out of Drake University in the 1970s. Through the years, we've had some relationships and partnerships, but in the 8 years that I've been here, most of our clients have been on the coast. And so it's always fun for our employees when they get to tell somebody about where they work and the type of research and the type of products and the impact that we have. And so we want to be a bigger part of the community. We want to start getting more involved in AMA Iowa and the events and the programming, et cetera, and be a part of the community. Even though we do research, most of our research feeds those people in AMA that activate on that. And having a relationship with those people who activate our insights is pretty special. Absolutely. So our website is www.quester, that's quester.com. And you can contact us through our website, or you can reach out to me personally at tim.hoskins@quester.com.